So I'm driving along here and I noticed my truck has developed this squeak. I roll down the window, you might be able to hear it better. So I'm gonna have to take a look at that and see if I can figure out what's going on with it. See if we can get this squeak to stop. And in order to do that, I picked me up some of this PB Blaster silicone lubricant. I'm gonna spray it on the pulleys one at a time and see if I can figure out which one is causing the squeaking in my engine compartment. So it turns out the very first pulley I sprayed it on right here, not sure if you can see that on the video or not, but the top pulley on the engine there is the engine idler pulley, and that pulley is the one that was causing the squeaking noise. So it looks like it's time to go ahead and get a new engine idler pulley so I can stop this squeak from happening. If you don't replace that pulley when a squeak develops, since it's a sealed bearing on there, you could end up overheating, and it could end up burning up that pulley there. It seize up, could break the belt, and if you break the belt on this engine, it could cause other issues. So we don't want that to happen. So we'll go ahead and get another engine idler pulley on there, and I'll record myself when I change that out so you can see how I changed that idler pulley. Got a little hungry, I had to stop and give me some tacos. One of the favorite places to get them is Taco Casa. So this top pulley right here on the 5.9 Cummins engine, that's the engine idler pulley, and that's the one that we're going to end up changing out. So in order to change out the idler pulley on this 2003 Dodge Ram with the 5.9 liter Cummins, we're going to need a socket, 13mm socket with a ratchet. You're going to need a breakover bar, and you're going to need a torque wrench. The first thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and loosen up this bolt right here on the idler pulley. In order to do that, we're going to use the 3/8 inch ratchet with a 13mm socket on it. Try to loosen it up before we loosen the belt. That way you get tension on the pulley. Alright, let's loosen up a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and get my breakover bar. That way we can get down to that idler pulley and move that so that we can take the belt off. With our breakover bar inserted into that belt tensioner pulley down there, what we're going to do is go ahead and just loosen up the belt, take some tension off of it, and then we can pull the belt off of our pulley. So now we're just going to go ahead and continue to take off the pulley. Just use a ratchet, take this bolt all the way out, and then we'll be ready to install the new idler pulley onto here. So before I put these back on, I wanted to compare the old pulley with the new one that I bought, and putting them side by side, it looks like, if you're looking at the top of these, the bearing in the new one is larger than the bearing in the old one here. That may have been done for a reason. They may have known that this one has issues over time and that they give out, and so they put a larger bearing in the new ones. But they look like they're the same size, the bolt patterns look the same, and as far as the belt surface, looks like they're the same. So I'm going to go ahead and start the installation of the new pulley here, and we'll get back with you in a minute. So you can see the blue on the threads of this new pulley. Comes with some blue Loctite already on there, so we shouldn't have to do anything to the threads. We'll just go ahead and get it started and get the hole lined up and start it by hand. And then once we get this started by hand, we'll tighten it down with the ratchet, and then we'll torque it to the final spec. Okay, so I've got my torque wrench set to 32 foot-pounds. So this 2003 5.9 liter Cummins, the idler pulley spec is 32 foot-pounds. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and torque this down to. But I was looking at the belt here, and I was thinking this would be a good time to go ahead and pull the belt off, and so we can inspect it. Since we're changing that pulley, it's always a good idea if you're changing a pulley or anything on the front of the engine here to go ahead and inspect your belt for any tears, cracking, or fraying in it. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the belt the rest of the way off. So we'll go ahead and inspect that. Alright, so when you're inspecting your belt, your serpentine belt, you want to go ahead and check the inside and the outside for any kind of cracking or fraying. You can see on this belt right here, there's some fraying going on. So I'm going to go ahead and replace this belt. I don't know how long it's been on the truck. I have not replaced the belt since I've owned it, and I've owned the truck for almost 4 years now. So I think it's a good time right now. Just go ahead and just replace the belt. And also just want to show you this spot right here in the belt. It's got some cracking going on as well, so that's probably a good idea that I'm changing the belt at this time. Okay, I got the new pulley torqued down. We got the new belt installed. So the next thing to do is go ahead and start the engine up and see if this is still squealing or if this solved our issue. I believe it should have solved our issue, but we're going to find out for sure. So as the last step with any mechanic job is we got to pick our tools up, put them away, and then take this thing for a test drive. There's one tip I want to leave you with before I end this video. If you're using torque wrenches all the time, even if you use it once in a while, you want to make sure that when you're storing your torque wrench that you've got the pressure set back to 0 before you put it away, because that will help keep it spring in good shape and make sure that it doesn't get ruined by staying in one position for too long. So as you can see here, I set my torque wrench back to 0 pounds, and now I'm going to go ahead and pick it up and put it where it belongs. So we got that pulley changed out. The truck's running great. I'd like to thank you guys for watching this video. If you have any comments, please leave them below. Go ahead and give me a like and a subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on future content.